You can own Bitcoin, it's not going away. I always said, if it's not going to zero, it's going to a million, but many people think, oh no, that can't be true, the government will take it away from you, it'll be illegal. And I believe it was very important to turn the corner. People will turn the corner when they understand it's not a coin but a digital asset. Saylor says that when spot Bitcoin ETFs were approved, it let thousands of financial planners and institutional investors into the cryptocurrency market. These people are now figuring out how to best get involved. Saylor thinks we are in the midst of the Bitcoin gold rush, which will last for at least 10 more years. He thinks that a lot of businesses will follow the Bitcoin standard this decade, just like MicroStrategy did in August 2020. A choice that started a new era for Bitcoin. I believe they will in time. I think that companies will start to use this approach between 2025 and 2028 or 2029. This is because it offers a very low cost of capital, and Bitcoin is a good asset with a lot of demand, among other reasons. But we were different because we had a need, we were at the right time and place. Also, I already said that we didn't have a plan in the middle of 2020. The plan was right there. When Bitcoin was worth $16,018 months ago, everyone thought the crypto economy would end. This is hard for everyone else to understand. That means it's only been 6 months. You might even say 12 weeks. When the SEC approved the spot ETF in January, most people around the world agreed that Bitcoin is an asset. It's not going away. I always said, if it's not going to zero, it's going to a million. Many people, though, think it's too good to be true. The government is going to take it away from you. It's going to be illegal. And I believe it was very important to turn the corner. People will turn the corner when they understand it's not a coin but a digital asset. When it comes to digital goods, they are also a store of value. I will either buy it as a safe investment or through an exchange-traded fund ETF and hold on to it for a long time. When the SEC approved 10 Bitcoin ETFs, most people on Wall Street agreed that it would be around for a while, which led to a huge amount of excitement. That started this Bitcoin gold rush. It will get more excited, more adopted, and more known every 3 months for the next 10 years. But Bitcoin is still pretty much in its first year as an asset held by institutions. Business people will do this, but they can't move that quickly. If something has been new for 3 years and you're now in the 4th year, you're pretty much an early user. The way businesses move is very quickly. I believe it does happen. But I still think the crypto winter is not far away. There have been so many failures and meltdowns. We need to get some space between ourselves and that, and then settle down. Firms that are more cautious will then begin to enter the market. Regulators are still not sure what will happen. For the past 24 months, it wasn't clear what would happen with any crypto product or use case anywhere in the world. A lot of people have been waiting for certain things to happen or for choices to be made. In the middle of 2024, it's pretty clear that Bitcoin has become accepted by lawmakers as a digital good and by investors as a digital asset or investment in a store of value. And most people agree on those 2 points. That means you can make a very, very big business if you build something on those 2 ideas, right? Like MicroStrategy, whose value has gone from $600 million to $35 billion. You can make a big thing. But those 2 ideas weren't clear 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I couldn't have said, 10 Wall Street companies will all agree on that you can sell that and the SEC will let you. My guess is that the formal adoption phase has only been going on for 12 weeks. We watch every day as money comes into the spot. There are 50 million, 100 million, and 200 million Bitcoin ETFs. It looks like it's beginning to cook. That will make people think about what to do next, I think. This is how all markets work, right? There are 27 different ideas in the market, which makes it very confusing. Then all of a sudden, an idea works. Remember that you like search engines? After a bunch, it was Google. Do you remember when cell phones came out? A bunch of them, and then Apple. There will be a lot of remember apps for phones. There are many. Then there are a few. Yes, that's how I think markets work. Once something starts to work, it grows, spreads, and starts to catch fire. Then other people copy it, and it turns into something. I believe it is still early. That's good, right? Because that means you have a chance. Right on, right on, right on. Okay, you don't need everyone to agree. So you can act, you want everyone to be confused about what's going on. Bitcoin is the only thing that has a limited number cap. Miners will be able to afford to dig even more gold if the price of gold goes up a lot today. This will increase supply and lower prices in the long run. Gold in RCs is thought to be about 20 million tons by experts. 1 ton of gold is worth more than $74 million right now. It is unlikely that all of these tons of gold will be found, but miners will have to work much harder to get more gold because prices are going up so much. All goods except Bitcoin are treated the same way. Let's listen to Saylor's interview again, where he talks more about Bitcoin's place in our digital world, which is changing so quickly. It's better to think of Bitcoin as a city and internet. 266 blocks wide, 266 blocks deep, that's about 21 million people. It's also a network that people from all over the world choose to join. You can buy one of those blocks, own it, and keep it for 100 years. After that, you can give it to your children's children's children. So, if you think of it as digital real estate or the biggest city in online, it is. If you move to Manhattan and tell all your friends to do the same, they all do it because it's the best place in the US, and land prices go up in Manhattan. It's not a Ponzi plan. There's a place there where everyone wants to live. Because it's North America's best place to live in, and people have been moving to Manhattan for 400 years. The cost of homes in Manhattan has been going up for some 400 years. 8 billion people would love to live in a city and online. And, they don't really live, they live financially. The world as a whole is in trouble. And the trouble is that they want to keep their capital safe and store it. They don't want anyone to steal it. Okay, that's why they all need this online bank where they can safely keep their life savings. It would be better than any bank we have if God came down from heaven and offered to open a bank with 21 million coins, keep the money in heaven, and let you zap the money back and forth mentally for 1,000,000 years. That way you could make sure no one cheated. Plus it would be a better money than the one we have now. God isn't going to do that though. The next best thing would be to build a bank on cryptography and computer science and give a copy of the software to everyone in the world who wants to use it. Then, people could buy and sell units of money called Bitcoin on their own, and they could keep them if they wanted to. The network is also closed to anyone who tries to cheat it. To put it another way, Bitcoin is better seen as a protocol affair and just way for people to trade or keep value. The protocol also gets more useful as more people use it. It's kind of like English. The more people who know English and the wealthier those people are, the better it is for you to learn English. And just like in New York City, your home is worth more in New York City when more people come there with more money and do more things. That means it's basically a network. It is the largest financial network in the world and it's digital. The cool thing about it is that it's open and doesn't need permission to use. It doesn't belong to anyone. It is not run by any country. It is not run by a company. No one person rules it. It came from an experiment in which all 50 versions that came before it failed, as well as thousands and thousands of copies that failed. It's the winner in this Darwinian market system for money. And you have a network that hundreds of millions of smart, wealthy people have put hundreds of billions or even trillions of dollars in because they think it's the best way to do things. Having said that, it is the first scientifically sound engineering procedure for economics, economic cooperation, or money exchange in the world. Yes, that's something everyone needs. No one can stop. Most people don't get it though. For the same reason that it makes sense to buy Bitcoin and study it for 100 hours right now, all of my best business ideas are things that no one could stop. Everyone needs something that no one gets. That's all the important crypto news for today. Stay tuned for more news, analysis, and